All right. Are we live? I think we are. So, yeah, if I'm not wrong, I think we're live. Oh boy. It's been very, very rocky. A very rocky start indeed. Oh boy. My headphones disconnected. I mean, okay, it's okay. I'll put them back on either way when we start streaming, or not when we start streaming. When I start with the reaction, when I start watching the video. So yeah, but I'll wait on a few people to. I'll wait on a few people to join. Wait about 5 to 10 minutes to join, and then at say, I mean, this is according to my timeline, but like at around 12, so in around 7 minutes, I'll turn on the video. So yeah, I'll turn on the stream. But anyhow, yeah. Oof. I should actually really put on some music. That's something I should do. Yeah, actually really put on some music. But like next stream, I should probably put on some music actually. Oh, I don't know. I've been kind of conflicted on music. I've been kind of conflicted whether I should like add music or not, cause it's like it's better. Yeah, there's something to listen to in the background while I don't talk. But like then when I talk, it's like I don't know how loud the music should be, and then because I constantly have issues like that where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, where I like put music inside of like a video, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is, this is all right. This music is all right, and then when I upload the video and people are like, yeah, the music is too loud. So yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining about those people. I'm just saying, that I'm like that, I put on some kind of music, I don't think it's loud, and then people are like, we can't hear you, or like, we can't hear you, all right. What is with me and voice crack? Jeez. Today on stream, then in the room tour video as well, I think I had a voice crack, if I'm not wrong. I don't know what is with me and voice cracks. Oof. I don't know if it's like puberty or something. I have no idea. But yeah. Okay, 4 more minutes. All right, 4 more minutes. See if anybody will join. And then after these 4 minutes, we're gonna be going on to the main theme of this stream, which is basically reacting to the video, an amazing video made by Rocha. I don't even know how you pronounce his name. Is it like Rocha? I mean, I pronounce it Rocha, but I don't even know myself personally. I don't even know myself how I would pronounce the name. It's Rocha. So yeah, it's kind of similar to like Ferrero Rocher, So yeah, Ferrero Rocher, the candy. But yeah. Oh boy. All right, 3 more minutes. Am I even? I mean, I'm live. It's showing that I'm live. Let me just check and see if I'm, because I don't want to, think that I'm live and then YouTube's like turned off my stream or something because of copyrighted content. But come on, it's just so stupid. Like, no, actually, I never understand YouTube, right? They turn off my stream because I'm like streaming copyrighted content, right? But then when I'm streaming a video from somebody else, then that uses like, okay, not the same, but like similar,
The mega super ultimate Girls Und Panzer Iceberg. The mega super ultimate Girls Und Panzer Iceberg. So if there's anything missing in this iceberg, please be free to tell me in the comment section. Also, to know most of these entries, you should watch the main series, the OVAs, and the films, which are Der Film and all the current Das Finale films that are out. I'm not gonna...
Alright, I've watched everything besides like a few very obscure like OVAs that I didn't even know existed up until recently, like the Alice War, or the Battle for Alice, I think it was called, like, for example, like, but I've watched like 90% of like all the content that there is to watch, official content for this anime, so I think I'm pretty set.
Go over them because that would be a longer video. If you don't know about Girls Und Panzer, I would, one, obviously watch it, but
absolutely,
if you don't have time for whatever reason, I would recommend this video. It's a good summary of the anime, and the channel is fairly small, just like me. Well, without further ado, I'm going to start off with layer 1, the top of the iceberg. The first layer of the iceberg includes entries which you could pick up from even just watching the anime and looking in just a little bit. Main anime. This is the main 12-episode Girls Und Panzer anime that came out in 2012. Yeah. Basically, if you don't know it, nothing that follows will make any sense. But essentially, we follow Miho Nishizumi, who transferred from...
Yeah, that's sort of true, actually. If you don't watch the main series and you go to watch like the OVAs or like their film or whatever, you'll be blown out of your mind because you won't even know like what's going on. Like, nothing will make sense to you.
From this school to escape from riding around tanks. But whoops, they actually have to reinstate the sport or their school closes. So now they have to win or else lose their school. That's another thing of this world. Riding around tanks and shooting at other tanks is actually considered a sport in this world. It's called Senshiro. And technically, because it's a sport, this makes Girls Und Panzer a sports anime. And it makes sense as the core structure of a sports anime.
I actually never thought of it that way. That it can be considered like a sports anime because of that. Oh wow, okay, I actually never thought of it from that perspective. Interesting.
Is there. It's a team of underdogs who are training together and have the fear of their school closing looming over them, with at the same time having lessons about sportsmanship and teamwork, which is basic to a sports anime. Films. These are the Girls Und Panzer films that are currently out, in total of which are 5. Currently, their film, which takes place right after the series, and the movie series Das Finale, which currently has 4 films with 2 more planned and a part 5 coming out in Japan of this year. This is the real Anzio battle. This is an OVA that takes place between episodes.
Oh yeah, this is really fun. I'm also making a video. It's in the making currently. Where I mention, I hope he mentions it here as well, but I'm not gonna spoil anything, I'm not gonna say anything, but yeah, I'm also making a video mentioning some interesting stuff about this movie,
6 and 7, and shows the battle between Anzio and Orai. It's recommended to watch it alongside the anime since this battle is skipped in the original run, and it's a top tier OVA showing our beloved Duce and Chovy. OVA series. This entry is for the many OVAs that came out, which are 11. of the best of which being Snow War, Banquet War, Taicho War, and Daikon War. Also,
I watched most of these. The only ones that I didn't watch is this one right here, and the battle for Alice, I think it was called, where they were like arguing over like, you know, if Alice like joins Zara or not. Those are the only ones that I haven't watched, I believe, if I'm not wrong, and I do plan to watch those, yeah, because I didn't even know they existed up until recently. I didn't even know there were that many OVAs. I'm not even kidding. Until like recently, I thought it was just like the main, like the 6 OVAs, you know, that came, and that was it.
not all OVAs are really top quality. For example, Anko War, which is just this.
Yeah, this this threw me off so bad when I was watching the OVAs. It's insane. This is like this threw me off so hard when I was watching the anime.
Well, maybe it is, maybe you like it, because you're a sicko. Panzer Vor. This is the main catchphrase of Girls Und Panzer, translating to tanks forward. It's used essentially anytime they want to roll out and start their plan. It's said almost exclusively by Miho until the movies when Momo takes her place, and later Kuromori Mine's new commander, Erika. And it's not Panzer Vor, which is a...
Wait, what was that?
His new commander, Erika. And it's not...
Whoa. Bro.
Panzer Vor, which is a different
days.
thing, and I'm not going to be talking about it. World of Tanks promotion. Girls Und Panzer and World of Tanks have had a long history of collaborations.
Yeah, this was amazing. I feel so bad that I didn't get into this earlier, into Girls Und Panzer earlier, and because I missed out on like most of the good stuff that came. The only thing that was like, I think they had like Saint Gloriana. I think they had a collaboration like recently. I think it was like the end of 2025 or like the start of 2026. I think it was. But bro, man, I feel so sorry that I did not know about this earlier, because I would have absolutely grinded or like bought these like tanks. I know it sounds pitiful, but I would have done it. I would have done it. I would have seriously done it. Because these look so cool. Like, I have never tried them on my own, but a friend, I think, said he tried it like once, I think, and he said it was really good. And yeah, like, I would so want to try these.
Starting all the way back in 2013, when World of Tanks officially released in Japan. And to coincide with the release, the collaboration gave us a short manga explaining how to play the game, 3 different tank crews featuring Team Anglerfish, the main team from Ororai, Team Continuation from Finland, and Kuromori Mine, the German school, with each one having their own respective tank, the Panzer IV, BT-42, and Tiger II. They even voiced brand new original lines just for the game, and along with these tanks and crew members, there was some decals that came out featuring every major school and its leader. Later on, adding 2 more schools in
so insanely cool.
Gloriana and Saunders from Great Britain and the United States of...
Yeah, Saint Gloriana and Saunders, yeah, were later on. Yeah, they were put later on. Yeah, I was talking about that.
America. Yeah. And more recently, they have had a Team Hippo from the
Yeah, no, wait, sorry. Yeah, it was Team Hippo. Yeah.
Ororai as well. Honestly, one of the coolest anime collabs by any game, and I would
absolutely agree.
Spend money if it weren't for me already spending money on other things. Tankery is for girls. At the start of the anime, tankery is told to be a sport primarily for girls and is meant to make them more polite, graceful, modest, and girly. They can become a better wife, a better mother. Okay,
yeah, I never understand this. Like, it's made to make them more girly. I never understand that. Like, how you're fighting, like, you know, you're literally fighting in a sport where it's like a warlike sport, you know. That is probably gonna make you more tense, not more girly.
A better female worker. basically a tier 1 woman in this world's caste system.
Oh my days, my headphones are constantly turning off. I have no idea why this is happening. What the heck? This has never happened to me. Why is this? Okay, wait. All right.
Tankery just don't seem right.
For women, I've never heard of men doing tankery. Guys in tanks seem kind of mismatched to me.
And this propaganda is clearly effective, being the reason why Saori and most if not all of Team Rabbit join. Town of Ori. The main school that the story revolves around.
You never seen a guy in a tank. Alright.
Ori is actually a real place in Ibaraki Prefecture. And it's not loosely based either.
Yeah.
There are places in the anime that are pretty much a 1-to-1 replica of the actual town.
Yeah, this is so insanely cool. Like, I cannot express how cool this is. This is probably one of the coolest things in Girls Und Panzer. Like, one of the coolest, like, fun facts, you know, about it.
The town has embraced Girls Und Panzer 2, having Girls Und Panzer trains, a lot of banners featuring the girls, a cafe, a museum. The whole town has basically been taken over by this anime. And given all this, it's normal for it to become a place of pilgrimage to many Girls Und Panzer fans visiting Japan.
Absolutely, bro. I would love to visit it one day, but like that's gonna be probably far in the future. I would so absolutely love to visit one day. It's like one of my dream life goals. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like
School ships. All schools are actually based on huge megaships that house the schools, homes, and even towns or cities. These school carriers are self-efficient, porting only when they need to resupply, and are common in this world, being around since the times of the Roman. Many ships even have names, all based on each respective World War II aircraft carriers. For example, Zuikaku and Akagi being the names for the 2 Imperial Japanese ships, and USS George Washington, obviously based on an American ship. There's weirdly a lot of lore when it comes to these ships, even having...
Okay, that is really interesting. I had no idea that they were named by like presidents, because I don't think they mentioned the names, or maybe I've forgotten about the names. I'm not good with names in any anime, so yeah, but that's cool. Yeah, and the fact that they were there in Roman times, like in this universe. Cool, yeah, I didn't know that.
their own OVA, which, for example, the ship for Ori, the Zuikaku, is 7.
Yo, if my... Wait. Let me check real quick if anybody's commented yet. Nope. Alright.
Around 30,000 people on the ship. And this is on the lower end. Something bigger like the Graf Zeppelin, which is Kuromori Mine School, holds an estimated 100,000 people. Carbon coating.
Bro, that's like
This
an
refers to
entire
the carbon
city.
coated armor on all tanks that is used to explain why these tanks can handle all these rounds and not get blown up or broken through. It's used as a one-off thing that can explain everything. Why is this safe? Carbon coating. How are they?
Oh boy, what? What is going on today with my... What is going on with my internet, dude? What is...
They not dead here?
My internet is
Carbon
alright, I don't...
coating. Because if the tanks didn't have this, we would have a...
Okay, the quality is absolutely abysmal. What is this? Turn the quality back up. Wait. Alright, I think it should be alright now, hopefully.
different type of anime. GUP rounds. Similar to carbon coating, the rounds used in tankery are different from the normal live rounds. They are safer. How? I don't know. They say it is. They say it's used with an emphasis on safety.
It's okay. They use live rounds in matches, but they're used with an emphasis on the participant's safety.
And different from those rounds, they also use tracer rounds in the movie when they have to fight at night. How is...
Bro. What is wrong with my internet? Before when I tested the stream, you know, if it worked, everything was working just fine. And now all of a sudden it just doesn't feel like working. It doesn't even want to switch the quality. Bro. What is going on? Oh my days, bro. Dude, what? This is insane, bro. This is complete insanity. Yo, this is, yeah. Yeah, this is complete insanity. Yeah,
save? I don't know, it just is.
Okay.
Miho's plot armor.
Finally, wait.
The amount of plot armor...
There we go. Okay, finally, I think it's come to its senses. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully.
armor Miho has is insane, comparable only to Alexander the Great and Hernan Cortés.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. The plot armor that O'Hara has, not just Miko, but like O'Hara in general. The plot armor that O'Hara has in general is absolutely insane.
As the main character in the anime, obviously she's going to have some sort of plot armor, but to this degree, how many times can you chalk it up to her tactics being superior? The only match...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's sort of true. Yeah, I mean, you can't really just chalk it up. I mean, how many times has it been? I think it's like every single movie or special so far, it's been chalked up to the fact that like their tactics are good, and you know they always manage to pull out of a situation like final minute, you know, like in the final second.
That you could argue that they could win realistically would be against Anzio, which is a school that uses basically only CV-33s. The clearest evidence for Miho's plot armor being insane is their breakout against Pravda. You're telling me that they were able to find the one weakness in their line.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's true. How the heck did they manage to... I mean, actually, wait, I'd actually argue on that. Because, like, you can't really argue that they couldn't do that, you know? I think that if they managed to break through, the fact that they managed to break through in this situation is pretty fair. I think that's pretty fair, you know? I think the fact they managed to break through is pretty fair. I don't think that's plot armor or like unrealistic or anything. But yeah, other times, you know, like, yeah, it's, yeah. But this here, I don't think it is, because, you know, they sent out Yukari and Erwin to go and, you know, go and search the area around, and they scouted successfully. They managed to like infiltrate the like Pravda and stuff, you know. So I don't really think you can just chalk that up to being like, you know, plot armor, but there definitely are many cases of plot armor. That's true, especially with Aura.
By scouting, the team who won last year's tournament. Miho also keeps her head out of the tank constantly, which, okay, I'll give it to her, she is aura farming everyone, but still, this is dangerous no matter what. If a shell is ever so slightly off, she's dead. No amount of carbon coating could help, unless Miho has been injected with carbon into her veins, creating her into a crazy Senshado soldier, Nishizumi style. This is a tactic that is passed down the Nishizumi family, primarily to Miho and Maho Nishizumi. It plays a key role in the anime as Miho denounces the style as it's based on victory at all costs, often sacrificing allies to achieve victory. It's a highly disciplined style and is instilled into the Nishizumi members to a degree where
You know, it's cool because that's sort of like the style that Germany had during World War One and World War Two, you know? I mean, okay, more in World War Two than World War One, but still, like, you know? And the fact that Cromarine is supposed to, like, represent Germany, you know? The fact that they, like, have the, like, same doctrine or, like, thought process as them, I think that's really cool.
failure leads to banishment from the family. In the anime, Maho follows this style while
Yeah, this is like the millionth time this has happened. I think it's because of all the times I'm pausing, I'm not sure.
look, Nishizumi style is more
There
than
we
what
go.
it seems. Although yes, very disciplined, they do have actual tactics, primarily to overwhelm the enemy team and pressure them while constantly moving forward. This style holds many similarities to the German and more specifically Prussian style of combat,
Yeah, I literally just said that, yeah.
which prioritize discipline, which makes sense, seeing as the Nishizumi family is in control of the German themed school. Fury collaboration. Fury is a 2014 World War II movie featuring Brad Pitt and is centered around an American tank crew. This movie came out around the same time as Girls Und Panzer, and in Japan, they even had a collaboration with Kankol, Strike Witches, and of course, Girls Und Panzer, in an effort
What? I did not know this. This is so cool. What?
to advertise the movie to Japanese audiences. There's also a lot of art, which is a mix of Fury and Girls Und Panzer, which is really well made, so give love to these artists. Kelly's
That looks insanely cool. What? And that's insanely cool in general. What?
Heroes reference. In episode 10 in the anime, Team Rabbit is shown to be watching some sort of movie, which is actually a scene recreation of Kelly's Heroes, a 1970 war comedy film which the whole team watches, leaving them in tears. But there's more than one reference, another being Yukari's name when she infiltrates Saunders Academy being Sergeant Oddball, a direct reference to Kelly's Heroes, Sergeant Oddball. Potential history.
Okay, going back to the Fury collab, I knew there was like some connection, but I didn't know like they've actually had like a full-on collab. I knew there was like some connection, and I know that like fans also like to like do a lot of connections between the two, but like I did not know there was a full-on collab. Also, the fact that all these references are there, that's I mean, yeah, I already knew about them, but so that's still really cool. Like, yeah.
This is a YouTube channel with 477,000 subscribers who makes historical videos.
Wait. I think I've seen this YouTuber before. I'm not sure.
He's made videos about basically every tank and is honestly one of the best historical YouTubers around. Why he's on this iceberg though, obviously, because he's made videos about Girls Und Panzer, where he talks about the anime and also the history behind many of the anime's tanks and other military memorabilia. He's made 3 of these videos going over the series and their films, and holds probably one of the biggest Girls Und Panzer videos, and is for sure the reason why some people watch the anime, as through him, many people learned what a Girls Und Panzer is. And that was layer 1, pretty short, a lot of
Okay, nice. I knew about like 90% of the stuff, I'd say, on this first layer, so I mean it's only the first layer, so I mean, but still, yeah.
collaborations, a lot of pretty basic knowledge about Girls Und Panzer. Layer 2 is going to have a little bit more meatier entries and a lot less surface level things that the average viewer could understand. This is more for the actual Girls Und Panzer fan, and I'm going to start off by talking about the many mangas and spin-offs that came after the anime. Little Army.
Yeah.
This is a spin-off manga that is a prequel to the original anime, taking place in Miho's elementary years following her first encounters with Tankery. It has original characters that never appear again, all being Miho's childhood friends. It's a short manga too, having only 20 chapters between Little Army 1 and 2. Ribbon Warrior. Another spin-off manga.
The big one, Ribbon Warrior adaptation.
This time taking place after and alongside Girls Und Panzer. It follows Shizuka Tsuruki, who attends Tatenashi High School, a school where there is no tankery club. So if there's no club, then how does she compete? Well, she actually owns her own Type 97 Tekke and competes in an underground tank tournament. Since it's underground, this means that there are no real rules. The only rule set in place is that tanks must weigh under 10 tons. And without anyone to oversee these matches, it can get dangerous, especially for the civilians who end up being part of the battle, so they watch with their own risk. The manga ran for 7 years, issuing 16 volumes and 64 chapters, and featured various new schools, new iterations of schools, old characters shown in different light, new characters with amazing designs like Yeika and Asparagus, who have the best designs in all of Girls Und Panzer in my opinion. It's the biggest piece of Girls Und Panzer media that isn't the main series or its movies, and is super good as a sequel to Girls Und Panzer, so you don't actually have to wait 5 years for a new movie. You can go to a place like MangaDex or some other site and read it there for free. Saga of Pravda and Phase Erika. Both prequels to Girls Und Panzer, Phase Erika follows Erika, obviously, in her first years at Kuromori Mine. It's really short, only being 5 chapters long, and it's a good read, especially if you like Erika. Saga of Pravda is the more juicy.
I mean, I don't really have much to say on this part. I haven't really commented much here because, like, I know about all these mangas. I know about all these mangas. I know about all the spin-offs. I know about them all. It's just that I haven't personally read them because when I read manga or anything similar, I like to have it, you know, as like in a physical form, right? I don't like reading mangas in a digital form because I don't know, I just don't really see the point, you know. I mean, at least in my opinion, if I'm gonna read a manga or anything similar, I'm gonna read it in a book format, in physical format, not in, you know, in this format. I just haven't really, you know, gotten them. I haven't really gotten the chance to get any of these mangas, but when I do, I am absolutely reading these all. But yeah, I already know about all of these here, so yeah, that's why I don't really have much to comment on here.
Of these two being 23 chapters long, which is 1/3 of how long Ribbon Warrior was. And trust me, these 23 chapters are good. It follows Katyusha and Nana's first year at Pravda and takes place 1 year before the main anime, when Pravda won the yearly Senshiro tournament. Moto Moto Love Sakusen desu, an ongoing manga with 153 chapters so far, and recently, as I'm writing this, a film adaptation which has been released in Japan, coming out in 4 parts, currently being on their 2nd film.
Yep, this was the the one that got me copyright strike, and yeah, okay. I mean, not copyright strike, but like copyright flag, but yeah.
As of writing this, it's not outside of Japan officially, however you can torrent it on sites like Nyaland, which is what I did to watch it. This is a slice of life anime following everyone in, you guessed it, their daily lives. It's nice and sweet, and gives us a look at everyone's life outside of tankery, which is a good
The art style, from what I've seen, I wanted to watch today, but yeah, I didn't really, yeah. Of course, I didn't get the chance to because of YouTube's rules, but basically, yeah, I do plan to watch it, like recently, in a very short amount of time, very soon. I do plan to watch it. So yeah, I just haven't really watched it because I wanted to first to wait so all the parts are finished, and then after all the parts were finished, I just didn't really have that much time to watch anything, not just Girls Und Panzer, but anything in general. And yeah, but now that I'm starting to have like more and more time gradually, again, you know, to watch anime in general, I am going to watch it on my own. So yeah,
change of pace. Dream.
But like the animation style is like, it's I absolutely love it. From what I've seen, like I absolutely love the animation style. It's just so goofy when compared to, like, you know, all the other Girls Und Panzer official media. It's so fun and funny. It's really good.
Tank
it really fits. It's really fitting. That's the right word. It's really fitting.
Match. The video game released in 2018 on PS4 and later on 2019 on Switch. It includes fully voiced scenes and practically every school up to Das Finale 1. It looks like a
Oh yeah, I plan to play this game on stream too. Maybe tomorrow or the next day after tomorrow, if I manage to get everything set up to be able to play this, then I do plan to actually play this game on stream. I actually plan to play this game on stream because I've been wanting to play this game for so long, but first, I didn't know where to get the ISO. I didn't know what emulator to use, but now I think I've got the hang of it, and I think if I get it all set up by tomorrow or the next day after tomorrow, I will be playing this definitely live on stream.
Pretty good game, and not only a good Girls und Panzer game, but also overall a good tank game. It's not
This is... yeah. Okay. There we go.
sources. We're pretty much left with Wii Party and Awesome Tanks 2. You pick and choose. Sadly, it was only released digitally in Asia. However, you can get it elsewhere physically, as the game isn't region locked. But to get it, you're gonna have to pay a hefty sum. I'd say it's definitely worth it. You get a story mode, objectives, and even online multiplayer. I would definitely buy it if I had enough time, but sadly, I don't. Unlike this guy who has 100,000 hours. I don't even think I have that many hours in, like...
What? No, that's 10,000 hours. That's not 100,000, but still, like, what? 10,000 hours. Honestly, I can't blame him. I'm probably gonna be like him as well, but yeah.
all the video games I have combined. Anime figures. There are many Girls und Panzer figures, which is a given. It's what Bandai Namco does. There is a lot of Girls und Panzer figures, many featuring the titular school uniforms, some featuring the characters on top of tanks they ride, Nendroids, posable figures, and of course, many figures featuring them in swimming outfits. Now, I don't want to call them Gooner figures,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
but... Cone of Arc.
I don't want to call them Gruner figures, but they are Gruner figures. There we go. Like, you know, that's the best way to put it. I don't want to call them Gruner figures, but they are Gruner figures. That's how I put it.
Just like Potential History, a tank channel that focused on, you guessed it, tanks. They have 365,000 subscribers and have over 700 videos on tanks, with their most known series being Cursed by Design, where he talks about cursed tanks. Why he's on this iceberg? Well, it's because, of course, just like Potential History, he has made videos on Girls und Panzer, making 4 videos. Those being how Girls und Panzer is better than Fury, and 3 videos on Dream Tank Match.
Yeah, I got that video like multiple times on recommended. I just haven't watched it yet, but I did plan to watch it. Yeah.
Video game mentioned previously. Boko, an adorable bear plushie that appears with bandages and a black eye, and always
The best character in the whole anime. This guy rivals everyone in the anime. He solos everyone.
picks fights, which he ends up losing. He's present from the beginning, first with Miho, with Boko being her childhood bear, and being present in her life always, and later Alice, whose first appearance is at a Boko museum. This is actually what ties Miho and Alice together through their shared love of Boko, leading to this cute scene also where Alice is wearing her Boko onesie. Besides the anime, there is a pretty catchy
Yeah, that Boko onesie scene is literally from the battle for Alice, I think it's called. I think it's called. I think that's how the OVA is called. But yeah, it's literally from that scene is literally from that OVA that I haven't watched yet.
song about Boko. Anglerfish Dance. This fuck-ass dance. It's sung by Sayaki Sasaki.
The way he put it, dude, the way he put it, this fuck ass dance, bro. The way he put it, bro. Oh my dude.
And has actually many in real life performances by the voice actors. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, after listening to this for more than I should have, it's kind of caught on to me. I'm kind of starting to enjoy it. I can see why they sing it so much.
It still has not caught on to me. Like, I mean, it's sort of caught on to me. On the one hand, I can like tolerate it, you know. I think it's sort of catchy, you know. But then on the other hand, I just think it's like such a cringe fest. I get like such secondhand embarrassment.
Corrupt referees. There is so much clear corruption in this anime, it's so funny. The clearest examples of corruption being in their film, where Ori, after winning the tournament, still has to fight the All-Stars team in a 20v8. And then when they're actually in a match...
Don't worry, that wasn't corruption. That, I mean, honestly, that wasn't corruption. Like, don't worry, okay? That wasn't corruption. That was just the refs trying to nerf Ori after having so much plot armor, you know? So I don't really blame them.
The All-Stars team have access to a German wonder weapon. This insane weapon would be capable of absolutely flattening...
Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought this was a Gustav, I think it's called, right? I thought this was a Gustav, but then I was like, you know, that turret is way too big. I thought it was like some kind of Gustav reference, but like, I don't know.
tank, no matter how much carbon coating is put on it. Or
I mean, I would not be surprised if it was, but still, like, the first impression of it, like, when I saw it for the first time, the first thing I thought of was a German Gustav.
allowing the All-Stars group to use the Centurion Mark I, which borders on modern tanks, and actually goes against the rules of using tanks only pre-15th of August 1945. Besides these, there is also the seating, which is controlled by the referee, specifically for
Ori won either way because of plot armor, so like, you know, like, even if they used a newer tank.
Ori, who has to face every top school to get to the final. Or something smaller, like how schools like Kuromori Mine and Saunders have access to so many tanks, while smaller schools like Ori have very few tanks and nothing fancy. Ami was...
I mean, that's logical, right? Like, you know, at the end of the day, you're not gonna have Ori having the same number of tanks as Pravdo or Saunders, you know?
in the army.
Although there's one thing, right? I don't understand. BC Freedom, if I'm not wrong, BC Freedom and Maginot both have lower amounts of tanks, or like less tanks than Saint Gloriana. I don't get how that works, because the French Empire and the British Empire were both at around the same amount of power at their height, right? You know, when they were both like big empires and stuff. And even during World War II as well. I mean, I'd say at the start, you know, and then in World War I as well. At the start of World War II and in World War I, they were like at around the same power, you know. I'd say France in World War I gave more than Britain did. And you know, it sort of doesn't make sense to me, you know. Like, if both of them together had the same amount of tanks as like Saint Gloriana or more, it would make sense, but I don't know. That sort of doesn't make any sense to me, really.
Omi Chono is a supporting character in GUP. She is the instructor for Ori, head referee over Senshido, and most importantly, a member of the JGSDF, which is obviously supposed to be a nod to the real-life JSDF, Japan's sort of military. Ami is also the only person who is seen to use a modern tank, the Type 10. So, if Japan has an army, does that mean that there are modern-day wars in this world? Does Israel hold influence over Senshido?
Okay, buddy, let's not get too deep into the, you know, what's and who's, okay?
Is Saddam Hussein canon in Girls Und Panzer?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's what everybody was asking.
Erwin's real name. If you couldn't guess, this Japanese girl's name isn't actually Erwin, it's Riko Matsumoto, with Erwin being a nod to the
to Erwin Rommel,
famous German tank commander Erwin Rommel, which is pretty evident in her design, from the hat to her jacket, and also her hair, which is supposed to resemble fox ears.
She's basically a walking Rommel Jr. She's basically a walking Rommel Jr., like...
A reference to Erwin Rommel's nickname, the Desert Fox. Besides Erwin, there are more characters who actually have fake names, like Caesar, whose real name is Takako Suzuki, and adopted the name because it's a cool-ass name. Or Anchovy,
I mean, yeah, it is, like, you know...
whose real name is Chiyomi Anzai. BT...
Yeah, but still... Oh boy, BT-442 with no tracks, oh boy, this is... Yep, okay, but... Yeah, I mean, Chio and Anchovy are sort of similar names, you know? It's kind of interesting. I literally had that random thought like one day, when I was reading, I think I was like watching something about Auntie or like Anchovy on TikTok, and when they used her real name, and then I was like, wait, Anchovy and Chio are like, they're very similar names. So I don't know, just random thoughts.
42 with no tracks. We all know that Girls und Panzer isn't entirely accurate, with tanks being able to drift and go at high speeds.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
But did you know that the BT-42 that Continuation High School has is actually capable of functioning without tracks? So this scene could have actually happened in World War II.
Yep.
GUP saved the last BT-42. Staying in line with talking about the BT-42, the real last remaining BT-42 on Earth was actually saved by the Girls und Panzer community. Back in 2016, I think, the Parola Armored Museum in Finland started a campaign to raise 60,000 euros to add a canopy over several tanks, in particular, the last remaining BT-42 in the world.
Absolute legends. I mean, I already knew about this, but still, like, I'll say it again. This is one of the main reasons why I think Girls und Panzer, the team working behind it, and most of the community, besides all the weird, disgusting people, are absolute legends. Absolute legends for this. Like, literally absolute legends. This is like such a W. This is one of those when people comment on like TikToks or something, comment W. This is like an extraordinary, like an astronomically common W for Girls und Panzer. Like, this is,
Around that same time, back in 2015, their film came out, which led to many Girls und Panzer fans to love the BT-42. Word got out that the museum needed money to keep their tanks safe, which led to over 200 Japanese fans to donate a combined total of 20,000 euros, and by that, adding a canopy over the tank and helping to preserve this tank. Countless war songs. There are so many military songs in Girls und Panzer, and I love each one.
Same. There are so many, and I love each and every one of them. I absolutely love each and every one of them, especially like all the remasters they've done of like already historical songs, like for Napoleonic France, Erica, the Grenadiers, the British Grenadiers, Katyusha. They've done so many, like Sekier and Polka as well. They've done so many remasters. I especially absolutely love them. Like, they're so good.
Very popular songs like Battle Hymn of the Republic or Erica.
Like, God praise the team that worked on the remasters, bro. They're amazing, bro. Like, genuinely. Whoever worked on them, they knew what they were doing. I mean, the entire team knew what they were doing when they were making this anime, but like, the department, on the music department, amazing.
And more niche military songs like Sakierev and Polka and Yuki no Shingun.
Yes.
There is new
Yuki no Shingun as well. Holy, probably one of my close favorites.
renditions of these songs, and for a lot of them, the voice actors even sung in them. Like in the case of Yuki no Shingun and J'aime l'Union.
Yeah, and what was it? I think it was the second. Yeah, I think it was the second Das Finale movie, where I think it was the end of the first. No, yeah, I think it was at the end of the first or like the beginning of the second Das Finale movie where Renando and Oshida sang this. It was so cool.
It's actually one of my favorite parts of Girls und Panzer, as it adds another level of historical references to the anime.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, probably. Yeah, this is an amazing statement by him. Yeah, I agree.
Katyusha's song removed. In US streaming services like Crunchyroll, the scene in episode 8 was censored.
Oh my days! Of course, okay, of course, in American media.
During this amazing scene, where Katyusha and Nana sing Katyusha.
Yeah, this scene is absolutely amazing. Why the heck would you censor it, bro? What?
The Russian World War II song, which talks about a woman longing for her lover. The scene was instead replaced with Korobienki, or more commonly known now as the Tetris song. It is also later censored in their film in both the German and English dubs to Nedelka when Pravda comes to help Orai versus the All-Stars team. It really sucks that it was censored, as this scene is probably a top 10 scene in all of the series, but
I mean, okay, for me it's not a top 10 scene, but it's definitely an amazing scene. I don't know why the heck they would censor it. Thank God I watched the Japanese version slash the dubs of like, all the episodes and parts and stuff. Because if not, like, why? Like, I never understand.
It had to be cut due to fear of licensing issues, so I guess I can understand it. Panzerlied censorship. Much like
Okay. If they cut it for that, then I guess it's okay. I thought it was like, I thought it was because of like political, reasons or stuff like that. But okay, I guess I can understand them cutting them. I guess.
Katyusha, Panzerlied is also censored in Western releases of Girls Und Panzer, due to the song being viewed as a Nazi song for whatever reason, and is also because it's banned in Germany since 2017, which I find insane. Due to this, the song is instead replaced with Erika in any scene where Panzerlied would have been played. To me, this is worse than the Katyusha censorship, as from what I understand, the song doesn't say anything really offensive. It was used by the Panzerwaffe and composed in 1933, which was the start of the Third Reich. However, when did this stop Girls und Panzer from doing anything? Does that mean that Fiamme Nere should be censored, the song associated with the black shirts of Italy?
Yeah, for real, like, why? Like, dude. Especially if the song isn't meant to like be anything offensive or anything like that. Like, why? Like, I mean, the Erica cover is like it's still absolutely amazing. It's still amazing. Like, but like, just why? Like, this is why when we talk, I don't know, let's say I mean, when people bring up politics or something like that. I'm always saying that I don't really care about politics because of the fact that just politics ruin everything. I mean, politics as a study is interesting, but like, when it comes to stuff like this, it ruins things. Like, I blame politics for this because it just ruins like everything that's good.
To me, it just seems a little bit silly to censor something while at the same time not censoring other things. If you're going to censor one thing, that sets the precedent for everything. But it is what it is, and it's also really easy just to watch the Japanese airing if it's something that matters so much. I would recommend to watch the Japanese airing on something like High Anime.
Yeah, I thank God I watched the Japanese airings and I have like subtitles turned on. Because I would have missed out on all of these,
Instead of the Western releases, but to each their own. But with that, we're moving on to Layer 3, with more references to the show, some smaller Easter eggs, and overall more of what we saw in the previous layers. P-1000 Rat in their film. Girls und Panzer is filled with tanks, given that it's a tank anime, no duh. But in their film, there's actually a scene featuring the P-1000 Rat, a German wonder weapon. During the final battle, this giant tank is seen, and is where the Duck team fights the M26 Pershing. In the anime, it's a giant building, but in real life, this was a real Nazi wonder weapon that was proposed back in 1942. The weapon would have had 1,000 tons, fitted with a 283mm naval turret that had been taken from a damaged capital ship. So in Girls und Panzer, would this tank be legal? Hell no.
Bro, of course it wouldn't be legal. This thing is like a giant, bro.
This tank could never be used in the first place, and if it could, the damage a single shot would do to a tank like the Type 95, or God forbid, a CV-33, it would be horrendous.
Bro, a CV-33 would be eviscerated, bro. A normal tank would be, absolutely destroyed, let alone a CV-33. Probably not even dust would be left of it. It would be, like, eviscerated.
If you thought the Carl gun was bad, this would be like comparing a little baby to an atomic bomb.
Yeah, like...
Moomin Valley reference. Moomin Valley is a Finnish cartoon/book series created way back in 1945.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. Wait, I think I watched this when I was little. I think when I was little I watched this.
With a 1990 anime-esque adaptation. It features heavy Finnish influence and is one of the biggest cultural exports that Finland has, besides Supercell and Nokia, and maybe Angry Birds. But how does this relate to Girls und Panzer? You probably guessed it, but this has to do with the Finnish team. The three characters Mika, Aki, and Mako are roughly based on Moomin Valley characters. Snufkin, Moomin Troll, and Little Mai. I'm not.
What? I had absolutely no idea about this. What? This is so cool. This is so cool and so interesting. What? And it's so cute as well, like when you think about it. What? Wow, okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't seen Moomin Valley. I can see the resemblance a little, but it's kind of a stretch as well. Because
Yeah, like I mean, the last time I watched it, if I remember correctly, it was when I was like 5 years old. I was like a little kid, I think, when I watched it. But yeah,
you could say that this is more a nod to Finnish culture rather than Moomin Valley. Besides the character designs, there are other references, like the Moomin House, which is seen at the very end of Das Finale 4 in Continuation High School's school grounds. St. Gloriana's girls are all named after tea. The British love tea. We all know this. They even colonized all of India for tea. So it's no wonder that the British themed school, St. Gloriana, had to have something to go along with the British's love for tea. They drink it all the time.
wait a second. I just noticed that people were actually there's some people commenting, but I didn't even see because I can't look at the chat. Wait, let me see. Live chat, all messages are visible. Alright, there we go. Okay. Okay, so Quadrillion says hi. Leo Nemeth says morning from Virginia. Oh, welcome both Quadrillion and Leo Nemeth to the stream. Hope you're enjoying the stream and hope you'll be staying here. But anyhow, yeah, we're reacting to a video about the Girls Und Panzer Iceberg. A video that was created by Rocha. Amazing video, so yeah. But at the start I planned to watch all 3 parts, but I'm not sure if we're gonna get through all 3 parts. We're gonna see, so yeah. But yeah, morning from Virginia, and Quadrillion says evening from the Philippines. Oh, so in the Philippines it's evening. Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, morning. I mean, here it's not morning. It's like the middle of the day here. It's not morning. It's not morning and it's not night. It's not evening. It's like the middle of the day. So, yeah, I mean, good day from here. good day from Slovenia. But but yeah. Leo Nemeth says the songs is how I found out about the anime. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. I don't remember. How did I actually find out about the anime? I don't even remember how I found out about the anime. That was actually a good mention, Leo Nemeth, because now you've got me thinking about how I found out about the anime when I have no idea how I found out about it. Okay.
Even on the battlefield.
Of course my headset turned off again. Okay. We'll probably have enough time to go through part 1 and maybe part 2 as well, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to watch part 3 because I probably will not have the time to.
And are even named after them, like Darjeeling or Pekoe, both teas that originate in the Indian subcontinent. But it's not just the main members. It's
yeah, that's true, and it's so cool actually. It's like it's giving off Erwin vibes and like Caesar vibes.
also the side characters who are named after tea as well, like Earl Grey or Vanilla. There's also a pretty cool video I would recommend watching, made by Consuming Plastic, where she tastes all the St. Gloriana girls. It sounds a little bit weird to say that.
Bro, I thought, okay, you know what, I wanted to say something, you know, it wasn't anything like offensive or anything, you know, or like weird or anything, you know, don't worry, it's not anything like that. I just don't want to spoil it because I wanted to say something, but I don't want to spoil it because I want to do something in the future and I don't want to spoil it, so yeah, okay. I almost said it out loud, okay. It's Girls and Panzer related, so yeah.
She's tasting the St. Gloriana girls, but she's tasting their teas, which also doesn't sound good. Fierce fight, it's the Maginot battle. I'm not really sure what this is doing over here. I should have put this with the other spin-off mangas, but I forgot to. And now it's too hard to put it into it, so just bear with me. It's going to be in the third layer. Another side manga that only has 10 chapters. It features Ori before the tournament and after the Saint Gloriana battles, fighting in a practice match versus a French-themed school, not BC Freedom, Maginot Girls College. Different from the rest of the side mangas, this isn't a prequel or a sequel. It's more like an extra battle that is added to the original airing of the anime.
Yeah, more like what do they call them? Bloopers, or no, wait. What do we call them? Fillers. Yeah, more like fillers. It's more of like a filler. It's not like, you know, yeah, it's like more or less like a filler.
Something similar to how the
I think that's what the correct term would be to use for it.
Anzio OVA was. Maginot Girls College is also a pretty cool side school, being named after the Maginot Line, and it also has some cool historical Easter eggs.
Yeah, that's really cool that it's called after the Maginot Line.
Like how they used to focus on defense, a nod to the Maginot Line of defense during World War II. And similar to Anzio, most girls in this college are actually named after French cuisines, like fondue or galette, which...
Or Eclair, right? I think there's also a character named Eclair, if I'm not wrong.
I didn't know existed, and once I saw it, it looked pretty good. K and L are the same.
Yeah, French cuisine in general, I like French cuisine. I mean, if we don't count like the snails and stuff, you know, which I think is just sort of an evil stereotype that's been given to the French. I think, you know, French food is really good, so yeah.
Elle is the commander from Blue Division High School, the Spanish-themed school in Girls Und Panzer. She is known for...
I hope he's gonna mention what I think he's gonna mention. I really hope he does.
For her assets, and looking the exact same as Kay. The only difference are the skin color...
Yeah, it's like literally a copy-paste of Kay. We just changed her skin tone and gave her a different hair color and different clothes.
The hair and their bust size slightly. The resemblance in these two is really noticeable when you start to swap the faces around. Is this just lazy art design, or is this intentional? Well, we don't actually have that much to go off of. The creators of Girls Und Panzer haven't said anything about it from what I could find. The only thing that I could find is that the letter K comes before the letter L, which is similar to how their names are, which K just sounds out to K and L sounds out to L. It's kind of a stretch, but you could see that as being intentional. Next organization. The Ministry for Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology in the anime. This is the governing body over all school ships. It's the agency that Ren Tatsuji, the main antagonist in their film, is a part of, and it plays a role more in the background rather than anything else, as we don't...
Bro, this is like... Can you even count him as an antagonist? I mean, I guess you sorta could. I mean, yeah, okay. Technically, you could count him as an antagonist in the anime, but like he's... you literally forget he exists. Like... you literally forget he exists throughout the anime.
I don't really hear much about it. Ford Tankman and a dog reference. A Polish show made in...
Oh my days. Another disconnection.
Ford's tank crew in the First Polish Army. This series is loved in Poland and in several other Eastern European countries. In Girls Und Panzer, Yukari is
never actually
based on Litka, who is the dedicated radio operator for the tank crew.
What? Dude, so many cool and fun facts. I didn't even know about this. What? Insane. I had no idea about this. I knew, like, so far I've known about like 85 to 90% of the stuff he's talked about in this video. But this is probably one of the coolest stuff that I haven't known about in this video.
The main thing that connects Yukari to Litka is their physical appearance, as both of them share the same hairstyle and also...
Yeah, look at their hairstyle. What? Yeah, look at that. They look like we're sisters, or like, you know, like close family.
Yukari 2 Litka is their physical appearance, as both of them share the same hairstyle and also have fluffy hair. Yukari is also not the only character who is based on a character from 4 Tankmen and a Dog, as Yeika from Ribbon Warrior is also based on a character from the show. The Soviet nurse Marysia Ogoniok, or more primarily the actor who plays the nurse, Pola.
Okay, yeah, I haven't really I'm not really surprised that I don't know about this because I just haven't read any of the manga, so yeah.
Araksa is actually what the character design for Yeika is based on. I'm 100% sure that I got those pronunciations terribly wrong. I'm sorry, I don't speak any Slavic languages, so please correct me in the comments. Nona's VA is a Russophile. Nona is one of the few characters in the show who speaks a different language than Japanese. Sure, there are other characters who speak something else, but it's either broken English, short phrases, or it's in the manga. Nona and Clara are the only 2 characters who speak fluent Russian, and this is because both of their voice actors are avid Russophiles. Nona's seiyuu, Sumire Uesaka, is a titan in Japan when it comes to characters who speak Russian and Japanese. She voiced characters like Anastasia and Kirov in Idolmasters and Azure.
Yeah, didn't the voice actor for Nona, didn't the voice actor for Nona voice Alia from Alia hides her feelings in Russian? I'm pretty sure she did.
Both being Russian themed characters, and also played Alia from the most well known rom-com of last year, and maybe the most known Russian anime character. Apart from all these roles,
there you go, yep.
She also has a degree in Russian studies and states that her love for Russia began from listening to the Soviet anthem as a kid. The more you look into her, the more her role as Nana fits perfectly. She has been to Moscow for several events and is even into Russian militarism and done photo shoots in military apparel. World War I tanks. There are 2 tanks in...
Doesn't she kind of look like Nona too? I mean, you can kind of see it, right? I mean, is it just me? Like, am I just going like insane, or like I'm just being mad, or like, you know, like I think the resemblance is very,
anthem,
you know,
as a kid. The more you look in,
looks like resemblance is very. I just looks like her, you know. I mean, at least from how I see it.
To her, the more her role as Nana fits perfectly. She has been to Moscow for several events and is even into Russian militarism and done photo shoots in military apparel. World War,
especially in this picture,
and is
apparent.
even into Russian militarism and done photo shoots in.
Especially in this picture, it's apparent. You know, she has like that long, sort of silky, smooth-looking hair like Nana has. You know, so she sort of
military
resembles
apparel.
Nana.
World War I tanks. There are 2 tanks in Girls Und Panzer that are from World War I, primarily the French Renault FT-17 and the British Mark IV.
Yeah, bro, the Mark, holy, this is...
The French tank is commanded by
I think you can literally tell, like, even if you're not some kind of tank nerd, you can literally tell the Mark is like a World War I tank because of the crew itself, because of how backwards the crew itself is that's commanding it.
The leader of BC Freedom, while the Mark IV is driven by the Shark team. Both these tanks are iconic and were heavily influential in the Triple Entente win in World War I. But how viable would they be in Senshadow? Not really at all, as these tanks were obsolete by the start of World War II and didn't really serve a purpose in tank warfare. But does that really matter when these tanks are objectively cooler than anything designed in the 1930s? Shimada style. The other of the 2 Senshadow styles in Girls Und Panzer, the Shimada style is carried by Alice Shimada and Chiyo Shimada. Its main role is to be a rival to the Nishizumi style, and it primarily plays a role in Dare film. The style is said to be a ninja-like style, prioritizing hit-and-run tactics, and also noted as being unpredictable. Girls Und Panzer Abridged. This is a 9-part abridged series by Gunmetal. As the entry says, it's an abridged version of Girls Und Panzer, and if you don't know what that is, essentially a long-form shitpost or YouTube poop that was popular in the early days of the anime community. This abridged series gave us memorable characters like Corpse Husband Anzu, Black Thug Yukari, and Alcoholic Miho. And
what? Dude, what?
And also gave us such incredible lines like,
"Why does this show exist?"
Mostly so middle-aged history geeks can jerk off to tanks and high school girls at the same...
Dude, what? Yo, I gotta watch this now. What? I had no idea this existed. Yo, I gotta watch this now.
same time.
and
Nothing gets me off like watching these jabs run. We're all Japanese.
You shut your whore mouth!
it's pretty short compared to other abridged series,
What?
and if it's your thing, which for me it was, you should definitely watch it. The White Witch, the name given to Joko from Continuation High School. Joko plays the role of a sniper for her high school, which both her name and the role of being a sniper are references to the White Death
White Death Simo Haiha. I know, yeah, I'm a...
of Finland, or by his actual name, Simu Heiha, who had over 500 confirmed kills during the Winter War, which gave him the record of the soldier with the most kills during World War II.
Honestly, I think, going back to, like, the plot armor of Arai, right? While we're here at, like, Joko, you know? I think Das Finale 4 was the peak of ORA's plot armor. I think it was like the absolute peak of ORA's plot armor. Because you get like most of the best of your tanks and crews destroyed, right? There's like a sniper sniping from God knows how far away at your tanks, you know? Like literally sniping your tanks, you know? And somehow a random character that hasn't had like any prominence for like, you know, like that has had altogether like 5 seconds of screen time, you know, like not hating on the character or anything, and I'm not hating in general. I'm not hating or anything, or you know, I'm not hating on anyone or anything in general when I'm saying this, and I'm just saying this as like a fun fact of mine, you know, like just sharing my thoughts, but like, you know. You get like, you know, all these bad things happen to you, and then a random character called Azusa that has had altogether like probably 5 seconds of screen time somehow manages to pull off a victory for ORA. Dude, like what? Like, you know,
the Tankery. Another game, this time released for the PS Vita in 2014, only in Japan. The game came with 2 modes, a story mode and a battle royale mode, and had every school that was shown in the anime.
Honestly, fun fact, I was considering buying like a PS Vita literally just for this. I'm not even kidding. At one point, I think it was like a while ago, but like at one point I literally considered buying on PS Vita just for this.
The gameplay is similar to Dream Tank Match, however, given that it was released on the Vita, it's obvious it's going to have its limitations, especially with the low frame rate. But you can't expect this to run crazy good. It came out in 2014, and by the
Oh yeah, and it came out in 2014 and like on the PS Vita, bro. Like, you know, you can't really expect much.
those standards, it's a pretty well-made game. Hill 203. In episode 9, the building that Ori defends is designated as Hill 203, which is a historical reference to the Russo-Japanese War in which Russia defended Hill 203. The hill was designated this because of its height, which was 203 feet. The hill was costly for Russians to defend, leaving 1,000+ casualties to capture the hill, ultimately being taken by the Japanese and being influential to the capture of Port Arthur during the Russo-Japanese War. In the anime, Ori is actually able to win thanks to plot armor after they escaped this
of course
designated area. And those are the first 3 layers of the Girls Und Panzer Iceberg. The video is super long compared to what I've made previously, and this project is probably the biggest I've ever worked on. Thanks for watching this far, and if you've
Alright, so yeah, this is part 1 gone through. Now we're going to be watching part 2. What are my thoughts on this video? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I don't really, it's an absolutely amazing video, and it's one of the only rare few and probably the best Girls Und Panzer Iceberg video that I have ever seen, and that probably exists so far, at least in the English-speaking community, that is. And to be honest, I mean, yeah, this is an amazing video, an amazing Iceberg video. Really fun, really entertaining, really interesting. I knew like 90% of the stuff that was talked about here, but like all the stuff that I didn't know about was actually insanely interesting and insanely cool. So yeah, really good. But anyhow, yeah. Let me check the chat if there have been any new chats. Wait. Songs. Okay. There have been some new chats. Yeah. Okay. Wait. There have been some new chats. Quadrillion says there would be casualties if it was legal. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? There would be casualties if it was legal. Quadrillion. Okay, I generally didn't know that. I think one of the Melissa episodes plays on a K Beijing like L. On K, bro, why did I read being like Beijing? What? I think one of the Melissa episodes plays on K being like L. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because I have seen some clips. Yeah, I did see that L and K are in Melissa from like clips that I've seen on TikTok. But I didn't know that. I guess I'll see when I watch it. But Leon Nemeth, she's Polish. Who? Yukari? Or who did you mean? Who did you mean when you said that she's Polish? Alright, but now let's move on to part 2. So yeah, we're gonna watch part 2 roughly until we can, and then yeah, part 3 we're definitely not gonna watch it. I mean, I don't even know if we're gonna watch part 2 until the end, since I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time. But yeah, we're gonna watch part 2 as much as we can, probably around close to the end, like around 3/4 probably. And yeah, part 3 we're definitely not gonna be able to watch it, sadly, but I do definitely recommend you go watch it. I have linked all the videos in the description below as a huge shout out to Rocha. So yeah. But anyhow, let me.
Hello and
Whoa! Wait, that started off. Okay, wait, started off too soon. All right, let me switch over here. So main game capture. Okay, does it work?
Hello and welcome back to the Girls Und Panzer Iceberg.
Okay.
That is, if you watched part 1. But if you're new here, I recommend you.
What just? Whoa! What just happened? Hello? Quadrillion says, I get the reference. White Death is one of the best snipers in the war. Yeah, I know that, yeah. Yeah, I know that. The White Death, or what was his name? Wait, Simo Hai, yeah, Simo Hai. Alright. Why was my audio muted?
Hello and welcome.
Okay, there we go. My audio was muted for some reason, but okay. Turn off again, wait. Alright. There we go. Alright. Let's get on to watching part 2 then, shall we?
Hello and welcome back to the Girls Und Panzer Iceberg. That is, if you watched part 1. But if you're new here, I recommend you watch part 1. You don't have to, obviously, if you don't want to, This basically serves as a new video, separate entries and everything, and nothing that you watched in part 1 is really going to come up in part 2. However, I did miss some things in part 1. Some entries that I accidentally skipped, which I'm going to cover in this part, and also a couple of entries that I learned about later that could have been included in part 1. However, I didn't know about them at the time. So I'm going to use this part to talk about them. In my opinion, part 2 covers way more interesting topics, which I get to cover each one of these in depth, from the drama CDs, some theories, and overall more interesting facts. Well, I don't need this intro to be any longer, so let's just get into part 2 of the iceberg.
All right, let's see. I hope they're gonna be as interesting as part 1, if not more interesting.
Starting off with what I missed. Girls Und Panzer voted the worst fandom by Crunchyroll. Back in 2022, an article came out
Oh yeah, I've seen this, bro.
saying that Girls Und Panzer was voted the worst fandom according to a poll conducted on Crunchyroll. Do I trust Crunchyroll? No way. This is from the same site that uses AI to sub their shows. But why did this happen?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, yeah.
It was hard to find because I only have a couple of things to go off of, but apparently it's due to some fans of Girls Und Panzer being wereaboos, essentially people who are obsessed with World War II Germany, which makes the people looking from the outside believe that many fans are politically far right.
What? Wait, it's because of that? I thought it was because of the fact that there's so many, like, I mean, I don't really know, like, what else to say, like, just weird gooners. I mean, like, you know, I know it's a weird word to use, but like it's true. Like, okay, like a good chunk, like a good big chunk of the fandom are just weird gooners. Like, you know, I think we can. I don't think you can sugarcoat it in any way. You know, I think it's like, but yeah, like I thought it was genuinely because of that. I thought it was genuinely because of the fact that there are like so many weird gooners in the anime and stuff, you know, like so many people that are like obsessed with the girls, which is disgusting. But I mean, yeah, and I mean, I don't mean obsessed in like a good way, you know, like obsessed in like, I don't know, you're really interested in the character or something. I mean, obsessed like saying that she's your wife or something, you know, that kind of obsessed.
Discouraging them from looking in deeper. Personally, I don't think that someone being a wereaboo makes them far right, just like how being a tanky doesn't make someone far left. I think just like with any other time
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree, yeah.
time period, there's always going to be people who are interested in the major nations. If someone is a fan of the Roman Empire, does that mean that they want to bring back crucifixions?
Yeah, yeah, no.
Other reasons to why it got ranked as the worst, from what I found, is that the anime can at times be lollybait, which, sadly, I do think it's true. Just look at the official
I mean, yeah.
artwork that comes out. But was it the worst anime community back in 2013?
I mean, okay, here's the thing, right? I don't blame the anime, cause like, you know, the characters are like, what, most of them are 16, 17-year-old characters, right? And, you know, like, you know, if you're gonna have a scene, like a beach scene, of course you're gonna have like girls in bikinis and stuff, you know. I don't think that's anything like abnormal, you know. But like, I'd honestly blame it on the community, not on the anime, because I don't think it's weird to have like, girls in bikinis be like, you know, on the beaches and stuff. And if you're gonna have a beach, I mean, of course you're gonna have girls in bikinis, but like, you know, I think I blame it, like I fully blame it on the community, because I'm not saying that everyone is like this, but some people are just so disgusting and so weird. It's genuinely insane how these people do this without questioning themselves, like, you know, twice before doing something. Like on TikTok, this is especially the case on TikTok. I've seen so many people say, "Oh, she's my wife. Oh, I love her so much," in a romantic way. Brother, I, a minor, saying that would be weird, let alone a grown-up adult. or like a guy that's, even if you've just become an adult, or even if you're a minor, you know, like that's so disgusting and weird to say. Like, dude, she's a 2D character that doesn't exist, and she's a minor, bro. Like, and you know what's worse? You know what's worse? Some people try to defend that. I've seen people trying to defend that. That's even worse. Like, it's one thing when you're doing that and you're like you know you're doing something bad, right? Or you're doing it, you know, I don't know, sarcastically or whatever, I don't know. But it's a completely different thing when you're literally doing it, and you know, and trying to defend it. It's just like, bro, please, like, come on, don't, please.
I really doubt that, as in 2013, Oreimo's second...
Like, I just have no word, genuinely, just disgusting behavior. That's why I blame it entirely on the community and not on the anime itself.
Season came out, and Oreimo is an anime that...
It's about a brother and a sister that... fuck.
Oh my... okay.
Missed spin-offs. In the original Iceberg, I mentioned pretty much every spin-off, but I did miss a few, so I'm gonna go over them in this part. Avanti Anzio Girls High School. It's a manga that shows us the daily lives of the girls at Anzio. Out of all the slice of life spin-off mangas, this one is probably my favorite, as Anzio is my favorite school, besides maybe BC Freedom. Keizoko Cooking.
Wait, am I just tripping, or is the background music for the video the VR chat music? I don't know, maybe I'm just going insane. I mean, who knows?
Another manga that shows us Continuation High School's quest for food, as their finished food of berries and potatoes has tired them out. The three main girls go from school to school, trying out every school's traditional dishes. It's pretty short and...
Yo, that sounds so fun. What? That's so cool. That sounds so cool and, you know, fun and cute. What? I'd actually read it if I could have it in like a in a physical form. I would absolutely read this. This would probably be my go-to read.
And a nice light read, especially since this is one of the few mangas that heavily feature Continuation High School, one of the more cooler schools in Girls und Panzer. And finally, a big manga that I didn't cover, Girls und Panzer Fir Tree. It follows Noemi, who is a brand new tank commander for Count High School. This is from what I think the only time where we see Count High School, and they definitely have to appear in the anime, as they are probably one of the cooler high schools, with the characters having really good designs and the school as a whole being super interesting.
Yeah.
Playing a lot into their...
But still, vegan high school #1. Vegan high school #1 candidate to be put in the anime, at least in my opinion. Vegan high school, bro. Vegan high school. Put vegan high school, then we can talk about the rest.
Romanian themes. The manga follows just one battle over 23 chapters, that being a practice match against Saunders High School, which is pretty cool as it is a minor school, so it makes sense that Count High School is gonna have only just one battle to go over, as they didn't even participate in the 63rd Senshado tournament. And finally, the last thing I forgot to mention, but would have in the earlier entries, is Yukari's Tank Corner. An OVA type thing, I guess you could say that's what it is, where Yukari talks about the ins and outs of tanks. She goes super in depth about each tank, from development of the tanks, to the companies who made them, the length of the barrel, the penetrative force of the rounds. This is something that you could imagine Yukari doing in GUP2, maybe opening up a channel or something and posting them on there. Those were just a few...
Actually, yeah, I also never thought about this from that perspective. You know, that oh boy, now that I've literally pictured it, it's just so cute and funny to me. Like Yukari opening a YouTube channel and like talking about, you know, just geeking it out there about tanks, bro.
Few entries that I missed, and I wanted to talk about them before I go into this video. But without any more wait, let's just get into this iceberg, starting off with Layer 4. Episode 2, Historical Error. In episode 2, Hippo Team Commander Erwin tells her tank crew to apologize to the Stug 3 as it fought off the Soviets during the Winter War. This is wrong. The Stug 3 was not used during the Winter War, it was only used in the Continuation War, after they semi-joined the forces with Germany and fought them. During the
Yeah, that's why it was sort of weird to me when I first watched the anime, and then when I first watched the anime, oh my, I can't even talk, and it was sort of weird to me when she said that like it beat the Soviets back. That's why it was sort of weird.
Winter War, the only tanks that the Finnish had available to them were the outdated British Vickers and French Renaults, and also the captured Soviet tanks that they could find. PewDiePie. I don't think I have to introduce who PewDiePie is. He was the biggest YouTuber for years, even if he had his controversy.
What does PewDiePie have to do with Girls and Panzer? Whoa. What?
Especially from 2017 to 2019. During this time period, PewDiePie actually played a certain game early, that being Dream Tank Match, where he played
What?
a lot into the game actually, playing as Saint Gloriana, Prov.
Tell me this is a lie. Tell me this is a lie right now. Tell me this is a lie right now. What? PewDiePie playing Girls und Panzer. Do I can't believe what I'm seeing on the screen right now. Bro. Bro, what? Dude, I can't believe my eyes. What? This looks... You know how this feels? This feels like I'm having a weird dream looking at this. PewDiePie playing Girls und Panzer. That is the final thing I expected out of everything. What?
The BT-42 tank crew and Germany. There are two things we got from this.
I got to react to this. Okay, now I know what I... Okay, now I have some reaction material to react to. What? I had no idea. No, I'm literally genuinely so surprised. I am so taken aback and so surprised. What? Oh my day.
One, that PewDiePie thinks Pekoe is cute, and that he can't drive. Deleted scenes. Girls und Panzer had several production issues due to the time constraints, and as such a couple of
sadly
scenes had to be deleted. The most famous of which being the fight against Anzio, which later got its own OVA. However, there is another deleted scene, that being when Miho leaves Kuromori Mine. A 2-second clip which appeared in the trailer for the anime in 2012, showing Miho walking through the snow in a dramatic clip, which never got animated into the anime. I can't figure out the reason for...
Yeah, when I saw the trailer and when I found out what it was actually like about, dude, I felt so bad for Miho. I was so sad when I found out, like, you know, what was actually, like, you know, the context behind that clip. Man, I thought it was like, I don't know, like her going to like school or something. I don't know. But like when I found out, man, I was so sad. Like, but let me actually check if there are any new chats here. Quadrillion says, bye, I got to go for dinner. Your streams are awesome. Hey man, thank you so much for the praise. Thank you so much for the kind words. Thank you so much for staying here, and I hope you have a nice day. Hope you have a very good day, an amazing day onwards. Leo Nemeth says, yeah, Yukari. I don't really know what you were referring to with that, but now and again says, what's the corner in the top right? Is it Goon Corner? I mean top left. What? What? Now what's the corner in the top right? Is it Goon Corner? I mean top left. Yes. And Leon Nemeth says yes. No, don't worry. It's not a Goon Corner. It's a little box for the chat. I experimented around a bit with like widgets and stuff, right? and added a chat widget like for the live chat. And then there's also another one which you can't see, but like for people that like subscribe, you know, like on the live stream, Yukari pops up like spinning in like a GIF, and then you know it like there's like a little subscriber pop up for people who like subscribe midstream, but like no, it's not a Gunner corner. But anyhow, my headphones disconnected again. Right? You see, right?
For this being cut,
Alright.
maybe it didn't fit the tone of Miho leaving, and also it doesn't make that much sense, as Miho's childhood home doesn't have anywhere that even looks remotely similar
Yeah, I mean, it sort of didn't make sense, but it felt really like, you know, just out of place in the trailer, like,
to this.
I don't know.
Other schools. In Girls und Panzer, the original anime featured 7 schools. However, later on, they expanded into what we have today, which is 26. There are so many schools that at this point, it's
Yep.
hard to keep up with each one of them. Like Waffle Academy, which I forget is a thing, or
Yeah, like, for real, there's just so many schools that sometimes it's just really, like, hard to keep track of all the schools.
Yogurt Academy, both.
Yeah, I literally forgot that yogurt existed, and also, I think it was like Bell. Wait, I'm really bad with anime like school names, but there was a school like Bell or something. I think it was called something Bell. I literally forgot that those schools existed.
Both real schools, which represent Belgium and Bulgaria respectively. Other schools are a bit.
Yeah, it's because they're just such obscure schools, just representing like such. I mean, I'm not gonna say obscure countries, but like small countries, you know, like Belgium and Bulgaria, you know. I don't think Bulgaria or Belgium stand a chance against France or Britain or Germany.
More obvious, like Koala Academy, which represents
Yeah.
Australia, or Maple Leaf Academy, which you can take a guess what that represents.
Yeah.
Rabbit team names. All of
You can take a wild guess.
Rabbit teams' names are actually based on Japan's Women's World Cup winning team of 2011, with the commander Azusa Sawa having the same.
This girl, I was talking about this girl before. Oh my days, this. Like, I don't get me wrong, I don't hate her. I'm not hating on anyone or anything, but like, dude, in Das Finale 4, this character has probably a total of like, I mean, okay, not literally 5 seconds, but like, I'm just saying, you know, like 5 seconds of screen time in the anime. And then somehow she gets awarded the role of commander when like the tanks get blown up, and somehow delivers a victory in Das Finale 4. Like, oh my.
Name.
Well, like, you know, I don't know, like, at least in my opinion, like, Erwin would have been a more fitting role, or Caesar, you know, not Azusa, like, you know, but whatever, still, Das Finale 4 was peak, and I'm not hating on, like, anything or anyone, but, like, you know, like, why put Azusa, like, you know, why just, you could have put Erwin, you could have put Caesar, you know, which are like a million times better options and more logical options as well.
As the captain of the squad, Homare Sawa, and everyone else sharing names of the squad. There are more nods to the squad, like how they are considered underdogs of Orai, however their commander is a tactical genius, similar to how the 2011 football team
Somehow a tactical genius, somehow.
was an underdog in that tournament and took down a lot of bigger foes. Clara's creation. Clara is the only character in Girls und Panzer who isn't Japanese. She is a Russian and she speaks Russian proficiently.
Yeah, you can literally tell by her
However,
name.
it goes deeper than this. Clara wasn't originally a character in the anime. She was introduced in their film after her voice actor Genya made a tweet saying how she was sad that there was no actual Russian characters in the anime. The production
Oh, that's actually that's so sweet.
team saw this tweet, hired her, and later the director, impressed by her, decided to create a character for her voice. Clara is even based on Genya, her design resembling Genya.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say, like, similarly to Nona, Clara's voice actor literally like resembles Nona as well. What? But that's actually so adorable, so sweet. What? That like she actually like made a post and then they hired her and stuff. That's actually really sweet. Another common W from the Girls and Panzer team, man.
with her blue eyes and blonde hair, and even their town of origin, Novosibirsk, with Claire.
Again, disconnected for like the 10 millionth time. I really need to get this checked out. Why didn't they disconnect before? Why are they disconnecting now? On the test run, they were working just fine. Okay.
Being born in Novosibirsk. Another thing I want to say, because I don't know when I'll have another chance, Genya voices Zoya from Akiba Maid Wars, an anime that everyone should watch. I'm not gonna spoil it or say anything more, but just know this anime is super good and everyone should watch it.
Wait, why does this anime feel known to me? I mean, I know I haven't watched it, but like, it feels so known to me. Like I've seen clips of it somewhere. Like I've seen many clips of it somewhere.
At least once.
I don't know.
Flying Tigers reference. In Ribbon Warrior, the school that Elisa is the commander of, the Flying Tankers Volunteer Group, is a reference to the Flying Tigers of World War II. Just like in Ribbon Warrior, a volunteer group made up of United States troops who helped China fight off the Japanese. Makes sense, as you know, they are an American Schools Saunders affiliate, but also the Flying Tigers are actually so cool. One thing that made them such an icon were their aircrafts, which they painted with shark teeth, which is very famous worldwide. And the Flying Tankers do something similar to them, except now drawing a cute little tiger. Alice War not released outside of Japan. Not much in this entry. Basically, the Alice War OVA was a special feature in the physical release of their film. However, on official anime streaming sites like HIDIVE or Crunchyroll, the OVA was missing for a long time, meaning
Yeah, I was talking about this OVA, yeah.
you had to see it in two different ways. Either you bought the physical Blu-ray, or you do the sensible thing and you just pirate it. Great Escape reference. Another film reference, which just like Kelly's Heroes in my
I like how he added the sensible thing.
previous video, Team Rabbit is shown watching a scene recreation of the movie. Their plan in part 4 to use the tunnels to escape from Continuation High School could also be a reference to the movie. Fanfics. I'm adding these here because I thought of giving these fanfics a little bit of respect they deserve. I know it takes a lot to write these fanfics, as a lot of these can go for fairly long, like Your Way Is My Way, which has 55 chapters, and from what I hear is pretty good. Or Der Burger, which is just a parody of Downfall. Fanfics are generally not my go-to thing, so I can't.
I mean, yeah, the fanfics aren't really my go-to thing either. I do agree. Like, I don't hate them or anything, but they're just like not my go-to thing. I'm not really like that interested in them, but I have seen a few fanfics, and I know that the fanfic scene for Girls and Panzer is quite big and popular. But yeah, the one that most stuck to me, and I don't know if this is a fanfic. I think this does count as a fanfic, but it was. What was it called? Something, The Strings in My Heart. Girls and Panzer, The Strings in My Heart, or something like that. I think it was called something like that. But yeah, that was the one that I remember the most.
Comment much on them, but they do seem pretty good as far as they go. Of course, there is another fanfic, which I guess you could call it that, but I'm saving that for the.
Oh no! Please don't mention it, please. I mean, I've never like read it myself, but from what I've heard, just don't even mention it. It just don't, please.
Next video, and probably a video of its own. Piano solo album.
Exactly, yeah, this thing deserves an entire video of its own, and I mean that in a bad way, not in a good way.
Official album released in Japan that
in a disgusted way is the more correct
featured,
term.
as the entry says, piano solos for a variety of songs. It saw a physical release of sheet music, and from what I assume, sounds good. I don't know how to read sheet music to this degree. I do like piano music a lot, and Girls and Panzer piano music covers are also nice, But anyways, a cool collector's item for any Girls und Panzer fan. Who is Takashi?
Nice.
Takashi is one of the few boys talked about in Girls und Panzer, and if
These were genuinely one of the funniest scenes for me. Like all the scenes where Alisa like just whines about Takashi and when the others are teasing her, bro. Those are probably like the funniest scenes, like my top funniest scenes in Girls und Panzer.
I'm not mistaken, the only guy who is close to everyone else's age. We never see this elusive Takashi, and we only hear about him. But who is he? Well, he is Alisa's boyfriend / love interest. It's kind of confusing as she says she was dumped by Takashi, but also that she never even asked him out in the first place. So
I think my take on it, what happened, is she was never even with him. She literally probably just said like, she literally just probably asked him out, or like, I don't know, just like told him to like, asked him if we can go out or something, and then he probably rejected her, or she liked him, and then she saw him with another girl, and then now she's like being all delusional. It's like, bro. But like, no, genuinely, it was like the funniest parts in my opinion. Besides the part where Marie gets literally blown up. Like there's a scene where it just instantly cuts to just Marie being just blown up by like O'Hara's Panzer and what tank was it? Was it the Hippo team? I think I think it was the Hippo team if I'm not wrong, or who was it? I'm not sure. I think it was the Hippo team, but like by O'Hara's tank and the Hippo team's tank. By the Porsche tank, I think it was. Yeah, it was like the Porsche tank that we had. It just cut to them, and then Maori just got obliterated. That's like my funniest scene ever. It's insane.
So how could she be dumped? Maybe she is delusional and thought they were together.
That's the thing. She probably didn't. She's probably just delusional.
But in reality, they never were. We have all been Alisa at some point, so we can all sympathize with her. And hopefully one day, she will have her Takashi with her and they will ride off into the sunset in her M22 Locust. Hearts of Iron 4 mod. This mod adds small things from...
Yes. W mentioned. This mod is a complete W, and I do plan to also play this mod as well on stream at some point.
Girls und Panzer into Hearts of Iron. It's nothing insane like the levels of the My Little Pony mod. The mod basically adds new portraits for leaders featuring the tank commanders, changes the name of nations to fit the Girls und Panzer world, like Italy changing to Anzio, as well as adding some reskins to tanks and adding voice lines into the game. In my opinion, one of the cooler parts of this mod is how they changed the mission tree in Hearts.
Yes, that's literally what I wanted to say. It's not, it's not that simple, but it's also not something like advanced or anything. There is lore, which is really cool and really good, but yeah, I also really like this as well. Absolutely insanely W of a mod. Just a walking W of a mod in general.
Hearts of Iron 4 to better fit the Girls und Panzer world. Personally, I'm more of an EU4 guy. And not EU5, that game is not for me. But if you play Hearts of Iron, which I'm sure maybe 33% of the people watching this do, add this mod into your lineup next time you're
probably more
playing Paraguay. Johannesburg of Ori. The part of Ori which houses many of Ori's more delinquent teens, it got its name due to Johannesburg, South Africa, which in real life was...
Yeah, I remember reading about this like a while ago on like, I think it was like a post or something. I read about this, yeah.
It was a place full of crime before the 2010 World Cup. This place is filled with many of Ori's cruise ship girls like Shark Team who hang out in the Donzoko bar, and we actually never get to see this cool part of the ship after Das Finale, but we do get a bit of lore. The people of here, or at least Shark Team, have an admiration for Momo as she helped the people, somehow allowing for them to stay in Ori. Historical birthdays. Most girls in Girls und Panzer have a birthday on some sort of historical day that corresponds to their nation they represent. It's a very small fun fact, and I like that they added it. It's not something that they have.
Yeah, it's like small details like that, like, for example, the names of some of the schools, the names of the characters themselves, their birthdays, like, it's little details like that that are small and like, you know, they're in the grand scheme of things, they're not really that important, you know, but just show how much care and interest has been put in this anime, and that the team actually, you know, had interest and care for this anime, you know, that it wasn't just some cash grab project that they didn't, you know, care about.
Had to do.
Which is like all the more amazing.
For example, Maho and Miho, who have birthdays which correspond with the first and second battle of El Alaman, or Yukari, whose birthday aligned with the D-Day landings. And while a lot of characters have birthdays that align, a lot of them I don't think were on purpose. Like Midoriko Sono, her birthday aligns with a lot of historical events, like the Boston Massacre in the United States, the day the Enabling Act was issued in Germany, and the day Joseph Stalin died. Her birthday, or rather this day, seems to have a lot of historical events. I don't think any of these correspond to her, unless she is secretly planning to overthrow the Ori government, which it might be the case. Layer 5. I was originally going to say something about this layer, but it's pretty much the same thing as layer 4. Drama CDs. These are CDs released in Japan which feature a wide range of original stories, like The Origin of Clara, which says that she was actually a Katyusha fangirl, and this being the reason why she came to Pravda, or A Friendly Match between Pravda and Saunders, which gave us a look into Kei and Katyusha's rivalry. There are more CDs that release.
No, I had no idea about this either. This is actually really cool. This reminds me of when I was a little kid, and the little, like, I used to watch like Thomas and Friends, like literally I was like an addict of Thomas and Friends when I was little. And I remember there were these like Thomas and Friends like interactive CDs, and like there were also these like little learning segments for kids. That's honestly like what this reminds me of. It's giving off those kinds of vibes.
It's like one about the logistics of the ships that I didn't see because I'm not a ship nerd, but they're there to watch. One thing, however, these CDs never got an official sub, so to actually listen to them, you have to find the fan subs, which are pretty easy to find. Just look them up on YouTube. Is Naomi lesbian? Yes.
Dude.
Naomi is the second in command of Saunders and is known for being romantic and having a calm personality, and also for her short hair. Naomi is probably lesbian. We learn that she has multiple girlfriends in the spin-off.
What? This is in Melissa. This is in Moro Sagusen Desu. This is a scene. Okay, looks like they got a little more comfortable with showing skin, I guess. A little is probably an understatement, but okay. I'm not elaborating any further.
Anime, and she has had official artworks of her as a prince, a common stereotype given to anime girls with short hairs who seem to get a lot of attention from other girls. Ando and Oshida represent Vichy France. Someone said that this entry should have been lower on the iceberg, and I gotta agree. But well, it's down here, so not much I can do anymore. But anyways, Ando and Oshida, the two sides of BC Freedom, which, fun fact, is actually two schools in one. BC being the elitist side and Freedom, the merit-based side. As you probably know, Ando is from Freedom, while Oshida is from BC. BC is like Vichy France, with the people who are part of this faction being elitists, just like in Vichy France, where its leaders were all old military elites. And Freedom is like Free France, with its students being more laid back and hardworking. And Ando, who people say is Algerian, is also where Free France was based in prior to the D-Day landings. Something even more interesting is the tanks that these two sides use. The BC faction uses the RL-44, a tank designed in Vichy France, while the Freedom faction uses the Soma S-35, a cavalry tank used to fight off the Germans, with more than 200 being issued on the front line in the Battle of France. IRL Ori destruction. This isn't as big as I made it sound. The destruction of Ori is just this little hole that residents of Ori did on a hotel.
Wait. Oh my days, I thought this dude was referencing the floods. Because I know Ori had like many, Ori has had many different floods in real life. that have done quite a lot of damage to the city. So I thought he was